Hello, Marco again.
Hello.
Hmm. So we are addressing one more subject, and this is around money, of course. This is I feel it's a big subject around the world, and it's good to address it in a good way. And of course, when we're looking at a project like this, it's still we need money to move. You need money to move something like this. So, which kind of are you inviting investors? In which way you're inviting these investors? Can you address a little bit what's money for you?
Yes. It's a very interesting subject because money is mostly at the level of consciousness where humanity is. Money is kind of is sitting at the driver's seat most of the time. So most of the people decide what to do, what not to do based on the money. And that's very sad in a way because when you make a decision based on money, you are out, most of the time you are out of integrity. And being out of integrity not only has a big price to pay, but it also is going, as we go further into 2019 and beyond, it's going to be more and more unsustainable. It's going to create so much contraction, right? But money, it's again, the position is neutral. There is in order to be free, I don't have any fascination about money, but I understand that this point is important to a certain degree. However, when I started Sounds of Oneness, I really wanted, I had the desire to attract people that would come not because the money, but because they felt a strong resonance. And so I didn't. I made sure that everybody know that at this moment is a volunteer situation. So everybody that are coming here, they're coming out of their heart and not because there is money involved. And so in that way, with that approach, I can in a way monitor the level of sincere attraction that who is coming is having. But I understand that possibly soon, now that the motive is in integrity with our heart, now money is much more welcomed because it wasn't our first motive. So now money is wonderful, it's abundance, so now we can create. But we didn't decide to do what we are doing just because the money was not our motivation and our priority. And our abundance can come in many ways. Money is just one way to express abundance, and it's not necessarily the most pleasant one, because when money comes into the picture, there is a lot of things that can happen that could kind of create a disharmonious interaction between the whatever you're doing, the people that the team that you're working with, because money is such a sensitive subject, is so interlinked with the idea of scarcity and survival that can trigger in us a lot of destructive reactions. So, being said that, yes, I'm actually right now pondering on how am I going to handle this inevitable money thing. So I'm already setting up time with people that are into business, marketing, and all that. I'm not so much I don't resonate with the idea of business, not as it has been until now. The idea of profit at any cost is really not in I'm not resonant with that at all. So the idea is to operate in a fashion of 100% total transparency, 100% total honesty with our audience, and not to create those marketing tricks that operate on the power of suggestion. So they do anything in order to induce you to the purchase, because that's marketing. What it is are tricks to induce the customer to give you money. And I cannot relate with that kind of fashion. So it's completely honest. And what I actually am entertaining in my mind, and probably that's what it's going to do, is to operate completely out of spontaneous donation. So we offer an experience, or you can call it a product if you want to talk about business. I don't like that word, but let's use the language that they use. So we offer a product, and if you feel a resonate with the product, it's up to you to give to it value, and it's up to you to decide if you want to have an exchange of energy. And if you don't, it's okay. It's completely open. That to me is a very wonderful way to interact and exchange energy. So we release this need to constantly measure the giving and receiving. So I give you 5, then you have to give me a 7. So I'm a good business person because I give you 5 and I got 7. Wow, I'm really a good business person. I find it very childish and very immature. I don't want to judge, but it really feels like that. I would like to operate in a system where we are so in tune with our heart, we are so at the level of high consciousness, where we decide the value of what we receive and what we give, and we drop this negotiation and this astute fashion, astute strategies in order to get your money, right? We just release that. We just surrender to the joy of what we are doing. It's already paying us. It's already a reward. That's already what it's all about. Anything else is extra bonus, right? Now, many people would say, well, but you have to pay the bills, you have to expenses, and that's the old paradigm, and that's the trap that keeps you in the sameness. So we need to find the courage to let go of that idea, which is a fear-based idea, and just really trust that our joy can provide us even better than our fears. Because for now, we are always creating abundance out of fear. Because when something is scary and is fearful, we believe it. We believe it, we take it as real. But when something is joyful, we've been trained not to give any attention. Oh, that's joyful, that's not. We need to look at reality. When people say, I need to look at reality, they always look at something that is fearful. Why can't you not look at reality as something joyful and create abundance from that point of view? It works amazingly. You just have to trust. The reason why we don't trust it is because we have been indoctrinated not to trust it and to trust our fears. So that's the shift we have to. It's like a little surgical operation that we have to put in our subconscious, and give as much trust to joy, or even more trust to joy, to our fears. In fact, fears are not a real thing. They become real when you give attention to it, and then the universe responds to it accordingly, and so you get the consequences of your feelings or your actions. So if your feelings and action are based on I have not enough, and I have to be careful, and I have to no, I cannot do what I love, because what I do, I've been convinced that what I love it doesn't have any value. The system doesn't recognize the uniqueness that I have. It recognizes a conformity to a curriculum, so that I keep staying in the loop of starvation, and I'm keep running and running in order to pay those bills, and it never ends. It never ends. And even when it ends, it doesn't end. You can see there are people that are very abundant in money, and they're still in the run for more money. It's fascinating to me to see people that are multimillionaire, and they're still trying to make money. I mean, you have more money than you can spend in your life. I mean, when you have a beautiful shelter, and you have health, and you have some clothing, you have maybe a vehicle or two if you want to. What else do you need? I mean, why? What is it that you want? 3 houses, 5 houses? What? And it never ends, right? So I see these big names, that they have billions and billions, and they're still in the money game. I suspect it's because they are disconnected, and they don't know anything else, and so they are terrified to think about something else. And so they are the slaves. They are enslaved in the money, in the make money system, and they cannot do anything else. And they think that's joy, but that's not joy. That's anxiety. It's an anxiety hidden, and behind it is fake joy, but it's like a paranoia. It's like a schizophrenia, because I just bought another pair of shoes. I have 70 pair of shoes in my closet, but I feel so good, and it gives you that reassurance that everything is fine. But it's very it's a fake
trend.
Yeah, it's a fake joy. In fact, those people, as soon they don't have those 75 pair of shoes, they lose it. They are lost completely, and they go
That's
into
why
depression.
I think the machine created these trends.
Right.
Is the fashion.
Yeah.
Because for people who already have everything,
Yeah.
what do we do with these people?
Right.
We need to create new things all the time, so they're in the game. Because
Right.
if not, I already have 70 pairs. They're new. I don't have time to wear them all. But it's not the lazy fashion. It's again little traps. How to?
Yeah. So back to Sounds of Oneness. Yes, we are going to extend a call to also attract abundance in a shape of what we call money, the idea of money. It's welcomed because it will certainly speed up the process and give us a certain degree of comfort, and so we can even further go even deeper into the process of creativity. In a way, all this is an illusion. We can do everything without money. Money is being artificially created. It's probably the number one mind control system in the planet. I suspect there is no such a thing as money in other expression of life, and they are doing fine. There is so much abundance here that this moment is being hidden, so that we keep the game of money, because once the abundance, the true abundance of this reality will be revealed, there will be no need for money anymore. But money for what? Yeah, it might be still another way, a way to exchange, but it doesn't really matter, because again, once you have the basics, you have all the food you need, you have your shelter, you have the tools to create. Then after that, it's not so much. It's not so much about keeping accumulating money. It's like if I have a refrigerator that is full of food, I don't need to keep going to the supermarket and buy more food. What do I buy food for? I have enough food for the whole month. right? So, so I'm going to talk to some other to the Sounds of Oneness group, and we will address together the topic. But I think it would be very beautiful to have a perdonation situation, a spontaneous, non-induced donation, where and not even please help us because because that's also is a guilt. There is a subliminal, you have to help us, otherwise you're not a good person. That no. If you feel it's a spontaneous donation, so organic donation, where I really feel, wow, I received so much from you, and money can be something, it can be something else, or nothing. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. The Sounds of Oneness will attempt to create an environment where more and more everything will be open and free. I would like even the concerts to be free. And this is an interesting aspect of how money really twisted our mind. There are some people that for some interesting reasons believe if something doesn't cost a lot of money, it's not valuable. So they associate the tag price to the value, right? And that's how deeply we've been manipulated. So we scan through the reality and we look at the money attached to a specific situation or item, and we have been induced to believe that it doesn't cost a lot of money, and that's not good.
No quality.
Right? So now, for example, people that do, even people that do work of support, of service, if they don't charge a lot of money, they get into the risk that they are not taken seriously. How much is the seminar? It's 30 it's donation. I don't have time for that. It must be not good. How much is? Oh, it's like 10,000 euros. Oh, that must be good. That's it's such an interesting phenomenon because money doesn't have anything to do with quality. It's not necessarily that you pay a lot of money and you get a lot of quality. It doesn't. Many times, sometimes it works like that, but many times it doesn't, right? So we need to increase our level of discernment and neutralize ourselves. Don't have such an emotional response and contractive response towards the money. Don't have so much attachment to money, and little by little allow our joy to show us that it can provide abundance way far beyond the limitation of the fear and the theme of fear and money. That's very limiting game, and there is a big price to pay. I've been performing in my past when I used to perform as a musician, as a singer. I've been performing in houses of billionaires. So the propaganda, the idea that money is happiness, if it was true, then every time you see somebody rich, you should see a Buddha, a Jesus, right? But I've been working, entering houses of billionaire of all kind of, and most of the time, not always, but most of the time, I found people extremely contracted, with a lot of almost in a psychopathic condition, completely disconnected with their heart, with a huge ego, and they run their business or even their family on a fear-based platform. So everybody worked for them out of fear. They gain respect out of fear. How sad and and miserable that can be, because how lonely you must feel. Because if I want something from you, I need to make you scared. And then I get you. You know, that's so harsh, not only for him, but also for yourself. So, of course, Sons of Oneness will welcome all kind of millions. Yeah, of course, welcome. You want to donate $10 million or 10 million euros to Sons of Oneness? Beautiful. But I will have to ask you, when you make such a donation, where are you coming from? What is the intent behind? Are you still making business, and then you start to have some demands like, oh no, you have to act like that because if you act like that, it will sell more CDs or you will sell more concerts. Are you still into that 3D world game where you are expecting a triple your investment and all that stuff? There's nothing wrong with that, but that's something that I don't think Sounds of Oneness is in resonance. It cannot be in resonance with such a thing, because then it contradicts his own original intent, where it's all about service. So the multimillionaire, or even the guy that just want to offer a few dollars, a few euros, has to come from their heart. It has to be a spontaneous act of sharing, with not hidden agendas, with no ego, just because they feel that that's is good to do. Otherwise, we will continue our journey, and we will create abundance in other ways. We shall see. It's just one moment at a time. But I am still processing the idea of money, because it's so contorted, so misleading, and it's so embedded in our DNA system. I am fortunate enough right now to be quite neutral about it, so I'm not really corruptible. If something doesn't feel in integrity with my heart, it doesn't matter how much money is involved. I'm not interested, because I have no fascination about it. But again, at the same time, I respect the value and the possibility that money can give us once enter our scene. So it's this kind of juggling between one and the other, and maintain yourself neutral and maintain yourself in balance, and just continue to do what you do best, and then with zero expectation, and you trust that abundance will come, and it will come through money. Welcome. It will come through other way of abundance. That's wonderful too. It's really an open field. And so that's where I am right now with the idea of money.
Perfect. Thank you, Marco.